This meeting is being live streamed. Got it.
All right, we are ready. We up. Let me make sure we up. Let me double check. Yep, we out here. So, what's up, everybody?
What's
Sector
up,
Sundays. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Let me
Feeling
turn
good,
my
feeling
backgrounds
good.
off.
We out here. We good. We good.
Peace, everybody.
We back
right,
for
cool.
another one.
Yep, we back. We live. I got the links right this time. I'm feeling good. That was real smooth. You know what I'm saying? It's real smooth. All
The
right,
boy got
so we
some
got.
hidden gems ready for y'all. You know.
Man, listen,
Stay
man.
tuned.
Like
Stay
that
tuned.
do-rag.
Listen, man.
Clean it
I
up.
went in the mirror. I said, today is a good day. We gonna get this right. But what's going on, y'all? Y'all know what it is. It's Sector Sundays. If you knew, this is something that we try to do every Sunday, where we have some people. Some of them volunteered, some of them were voluntold, but either way, they showed up. And today we doing. This is what, our third episode of this season, where we basically doing a Bull versus Bear tournament, right? Tonight we're covering the EV space. So we're doing Nio, and we have the ladies, they're the Bulls. We got the fellas, they're the Bears. As far as last week though, before we get into them, we did have one last week. AJ.
Man.
Let them know what it was last week.
So last week, y'all, I must admit, man, the Bulls pulled through, y'all. The Bulls won last week, so we got to give it up to the Bull squad once again. Okay, we got to give it up for the Bulls. They did an excellent
crazy,
job.
Right? It's Bulls 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks, bro. We got to see what the Bears bring tonight. But these women, they coming hard, so I don't know.
They are. We gonna see.
We gonna
see how this go down. So yeah, we did have the Bulls win last week. That was Sam and Lori. So advancing to the next rounds, we do have two full teams that are going to be facing each other now. It's going to be Leah and Dave versus Sam and Lori for the next. That'll be the second round after we, clear out this first round, which we got this week. Next week, we're going to have something special for y'all. And then the week after that, we're going to round out the first round of the full tournament so that we can get to that next round. But shout out to Sam. Shout out to Lori. They came with the instrumental. Matter of fact, they hit the YouTube copyright. I forgot to tell them about that. Y'all got to chill on the instrumentals. They tried to play Queen Latifah in the back. Mark called me like, hey, yo. I was like, bro, hey, we just trying to have fun, my guy. Don't ruin the party. But I don't want to waste too much time. We at about 05 on the hour. So Bulls, if y'all want to introduce yourselves, pull up y'all presentation. Y'all got y'all first 15 minutes, and then we'll get right into it.
All right, well, and then let's do this.
Wait, how that machine go to his tent?
All right, cousins. Hello, everyone. I'm Sheena. This is Erica. And we are your Bulls. The future is autonomous driving. Let me introduce you to the first to market and leading manufacturer of premium smart electronic vehicles in China. Founded in November 2014, backed by the government, we have a loyal customer base and outstanding customer service. We are Nio Incorporated. Nio has partners throughout the globe in Germany, Norway, US, and England. And owners of the vehicle benefit from a lifetime of free battery swap and out-of-town power services, basically where the kind of service, they come straight to your home, charge your vehicle, and then off you go. Can't get that anywhere else. Nio also provides the world's first smart power solution for cars. They have the Nio app, the Nio portable power bank, power chargers, power swaps, and at the moment, we have over 300 power swaps and over 200 power charging stations. So you must be thinking, well, then what makes Nio different than anybody else? Well, let me tell you. Our mission is to shape a joyful lifestyle. Our cars are beyond a 5-star safety standard. We are economically and environmentally friendly. We use super sensors, AI energy storage, and our own supercomputer. The use of LiDAR enhances our driver monitoring system, and we hold over 2,000 patents for our innovations and battery swapping technology. Let's get a little deeper into those differences. We've partnered with Sinopec, which is aimed at helping achieve peak carbon emissions and achieve carbon neutrality, a key step in developing global green and innovative transportation initiatives. Not only that, we've partnered with a California-based company, InnoVusion, which uses LiDAR sensors to render precise images of the environment around the car. A majority of self-driving cars use LiDAR as the primary vehicle sensor. We also have NVIDIA, and we've teamed up with NVIDIA to create Atom supercomputer. Atom internally is based on Orin processing capabilities and artificial intelligence. Nio will use NVIDIA Drive for advanced automated driving technology, marking the genesis of truly intelligent and personalized Nio vehicles.
I think we did it.
Almost. Not only that, we have Athena. Athena software is an AI energy storage solution. Athena is STEM's software platform built to seamlessly integrate and optimize energy sources. Athena helps lower energy costs, stabilizes the grid, reduces carbon emissions, and solve renewable intermittency across the world's largest network of distributed energy storage systems. And we'll move it on so you can hear a little bit about our battery.
So Nio's battery as a service technology, it fits right into ARC's big ideas of autonomous tech and robotics. ARC forecasts that EV sales will increase 20-fold based on Wright's law. And with such an increase of the EVs in the market, battery charging stations and tech is a must, and Nio has the solution. As of July 2021, Nio has completed more than 2.9 million battery swaps, keeping in mind that battery swaps occur in only 3 minutes. And Nio has plans to open its battery swap systems to other automakers. Nio has more than 1,000 patents and has contributed to 17 of the national standards for battery swaps. By 2025, Nio's planned for installation of 4,000 battery swap stations, with 1,000 of those overseas, and to have 90% of Nio users within 3 kilometers of a swap station. Nio also offers Nio Power, which is a mobile internet-based power solution to provide battery charging and swapping for its users through home charging stations, battery swaps, mobile power. And mobile power is where a mobile power van will come to you and charge your vehicle. They also have 24/7 valet charging, and that's available through the app that's enhanced by the Nio Power Cloud.
Not only do we have our vehicles and our AI, we also have multiple sources of income. We've got water bottles, handbags, a smart scooter, award-winning cookies. In fact, we're the first food award won by an automaker. We've teamed up with and established food safety management systems with the world's leading quality inspection authority. So we out here. We also transform vehicle manufacturing scrap materials into environmentally friendly products. And so you must be thinking, Well, who has invested interest in Nio? We've got some big banks behind us. Citibank, JP Mortgage, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, just to name a few. And we've talked a lot about Nio and some of our background. So let's switch it up to our numbers.
So Nio is definitely a stock for growth investors. As a relatively new company, its vision for a joyful lifestyle and autonomous driving, its impact will be felt in the market. At close on Friday, Nio's share price was $43.99. Nio's market cap is $72 billion, and last year, Nio's total revenue was $2.49 billion. Last quarter revenue was $1.2 billion, which is a year-over-year increase of 481%. Yep, I said 481%. Now, although EPS was missed by 33%, earnings beat by $178 million, and their operational loss was decreased by 81%. Total cash on hand was $47 billion, and in quarter one, Nio had a liquidity of $7.2 billion versus a $1.5 billion in long-term debt, meaning Nio is not struggling for capital. All right. So ARK Investment, they also expect EV sales to grow from 2.2 million to 40 million by 2025. And in 2020, EV sales grew by 33% year over year compared to gas-powered vehicles, which was a negative 15%, which speaks volumes to Nio's sales potential. Nio's production numbers show tremendous growth. And in June 2021, 8,000 vehicles were delivered, giving Nio a year-over-year 116% increase. And there was a 489% increase in quarter one with 21,000 vehicles delivered. Nio met a production milestone in June of 2021 of over 1,000 vehicles delivered. And expected Q2 delivery numbers were increased to 21,000 to 22,000 deliveries. Analysts have a median price target between $60 and $75 by the end of 2021. And according to Yahoo Finance and bar chart analysts, they have it as a buy to a strong buy for Nio with 0 sell recommendations. On Seeking Alpha, Nio has a B+ rating for growth and an A+ rating for revenue growth. In Norway, DNB Management has continued to buy more shares of Nio. And in the next few slides, we're going to let you know why your only option for Nio is either to buy the dip and own long term or to strike the trade and see significant gains in your option trading portfolio. So no matter how you look at this chart, whether you look at it with fibs, Bollinger Bands, support and resistance, trend lines, Nio is definitely a buy. So let's take a look at a more simplified 3-month chart. I've charted some support and resistance areas. Currently, Nio is trading in a channel between $43 and $47 after a recent breakout of 58% growth over 46 days. With earnings coming in August, an increased price target, and seasonality highs coming in November, I see nothing but blue skies for Nio. So this is the option chain. So in May, if you look back at the week of the 17th, Nio stock was trading below its 50-day moving average. RSI was below 30, and the candles had broken out of the Bollinger Bands. And an area of support was forming. The stock price at that time was $32, and the option contract for a January 2022 $40 call was $6. Within 2 months, that contract was over $15. That's a 150% increase. And for a lot of people, 150% return on their investment is excellent. Also holding Nio stock for long term is advantageous. This year, the stock ranged from $11.27 to $66.99 at the high, and that's approximately a 490% gain. Everybody's always looking for the next big investment. Well, look no further because Nio is an investment in autonomous driving and in the future. We expect great growth and innovation from Nio with the increase of supplied power stations coupled with the acceptance of other companies' batteries. This is a revenue generator. Year over year and quarter over quarter, their delivery numbers have consistently increased. And with 4 additional sales centers set to open in Norway in 2022, Nio's global reach is expanding. And having a price target increase can only have an upside effect on the share and the option price. And man, doesn't that look like a nice looking car?
I just want to make it clear, Cuzzos, we don't spare fear, uncertainty, and doubt, okay? Just facts. Nio covers 3 of ARC's big ideas: AI, autonomous driving, and robotics. We've got multiple streams of income. Yeah, we might have competitors over there, but guess what? There's plenty of room for everyone. Nio has conducted nearly 3 million battery swaps. We have an intense customer loyalty, a buy rating, and true, we are a growth stock. And if interest rates go up, we may take a hit. But if this year has taught us anything, Nio is extremely resilient. So then what do we do next? Well, guess what? Nio is the future.
Excellent job, ladies. Okay, Bulls.
That's it. Y'all got a couple minutes. Y'all good?
We'll save it for the rebuttal.
Hey, say less. Literally. All right, Bears. They finished. They pled their initial case. It sounds like they might have some seasoning in the cabinet for y'all though. So, be mindful of that. Y'all ready though?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. MJ, you gonna share, right?
Yeah.
Make sure y'all introduce yourselves when y'all start talking. I'll start the time.
All right, y'all. Peace and abundance. This is MJ. We're gonna provide the Nio Bear case. I'm Michelle Johnson. I'm MJ. Some of y'all may know me. I run the Cousins Discord. And this is Big Grizzly. It's Kevin Wimp.
Yo. Yep, this is Kevin Wimp. I go by Options Kev in the Stocks to Freedom Discord. Let's get a S2F in the chat real quick, but I'll go ahead and turn it over to MJ. You got it.
All right, cool. Let's get started. All right, so like the Bull said, Nio's a car company. They started in 2014. They have 3 models right now. The ES8, the ES6, the EC6, the ET7. So they have a few different models on the market, but we're gonna get more into the things that we have to be concerned about while analyzing this company to invest in. So it's an outlook of the executive team, which is very underwhelming, but we'll get into it. So looking at Chinese EV sales in 2020, the top selling model was the Tesla Model 3 with 139,000, 140,000. We can round it up. It's the first time, that, a non-Chinese company has been the EV leader. So we can see that Tesla is dominating the market in China right now. All right. If we look at the table, we can see that in general, very small electric vehicles are in high demand. Right. So you can see that we have the Tesla, we have Wuling, we have the Bajan. So it's a few ahead of Nio, as you can see, as far as the deliveries. Right. You can see Nio rounding up that number 10 spot. Right. So there's 9 companies ahead of them that are actually leading in that China EV space. Right. So the Wuling sold 120,000, Bajan sold 47,000, the Black Cat sold about 47,000, the GAC sold 47,000. So some of y'all might not be familiar with some of these companies, but you have to understand that Nio is kind of not, they're number 10 out of the top 10. So there's a lot of other companies that you have to be aware about. All right. So looking at the year to date, the deliveries. So you can see BYD is leading right now. And BYD is a company that Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway is heavily invested in. right? And we know Warren Buffett and Berkshire's track record. So, that's a company that you can see that's leading. And we have Tesla, we have Nio, we have XPeng and Li Auto as well. But once again, you can see that Nio is not the leader, right? And we always want to invest in the best companies that are dominating. So take a look at that and we'll get more into it. Now, Forbes had an article a few months ago, Chinese EV invasion, the electric cars to look out for in 2021. And they spoke about a lot of these companies that were leading that I just mentioned, but Nio was at the bottom of that list, right? They talked about BYD, BAIC, SAIC, Geely, Wuling, XPeng, AIways, and then lastly was Nio. But you can see the top Chinese companies that they mentioned at the top, right? So now when we compare some of their two top competitors, XPeng and Li, while Nio has scaled up production, it hasn't come without challenges. It recalled about 5,000 vehicles last year. So this is a problem. They recalled 5,000 vehicles, and this was based on their technology. A lot of batteries had combusted, spontaneous fires were caused, which put a lot of people's health at risk. So this is something that we have to be aware about. So while Nio's deliveries this year could approach about 70,000 units, Li Auto and XPeng are likely to deliver around 60K, with Li Auto seeing the highest growth. Nio's revenues are likely to grow, but while XPeng's revenue are likely to grow 120%. So XPeng's revenues is expected to grow 120%, Nio only about 95. Nio's revenue grew 100% in 2020. Li Auto's revenue grew 130% in 2020. XPeng's revenue grew 123% in 2020. So their two top competitors actually have higher growth rates. Now, let's look at their debt, because this is a problem. So fresh off is Nio Day event over the weekend a few months ago. They announced plans to issue 1.3 billion in notes. So they raised 1.3 million, but this is all going to their balance sheet and their debt, right? So over here, I have a chart of the shares outstanding, and you can see this huge jump in the shares outstanding. So this is devaluing, the shareholders right now by adding these shares, right? So Nio is currently valued at 90 billion, which doesn't leave it much room for anything but stellar execution. So because of the high evaluation right now, they're going to have to really execute on an extremely high level to meet up with those expectations that people are expecting due to the price now and the market cap. So the long-term debt, as you can see, is about 1.6 billion, and that increased 56% year over year. So a huge increase on the debt year over year. So will Nio's growth at all cost approach come back to bite it over time? Nio's debt load was listed as a potential risk in their annual filing. Here's a quote from the actual filing from the company. We have a significant amount of debt, including our convertible senior notes that are senior in capital structure and cash flow, respectively, to our shareholders. Satisfying the obligations relating to our debt could adversely affect the amount or timing of distributions to our shareholders or result in dilution. So this is a quote from their official report. So they're telling us that this is a high risk company in the official documents. So we have to pay attention to that. Liabilities. Total liabilities for the quarter ending in March, over 5 billion, 59% increase year over year. Nio's total liabilities for 2020 was 4.2 billion, 41% increase year over year. And actually in 2019, there was an increase of 71% year over year. So as you can see, their liabilities is going up along with their debt. So that's very important when we're investing in these companies. Not only do we have to pay attention to the revenue, but we have to pay attention to the debt and the liabilities. Not profitable. So Nio net income for the quarter, I don't know if the Bulls mentioned this, but this is not a profitable company. This is not a profitable company at all. They're not profitable. So right now, net income was minus 744 million, increase 205%. So not only are they not profitable, they're becoming less and less profitable. EPS for the quarter ending in March was minus 0.48. So you're paying, typically when we're looking at the EPS, we're paying for the amount of return we're getting from the company per share, right? So right now you're paying for a loss, right? So 108% increase year over year. So the EPS went down, and the net income went down as well. So on key earnings and other fundamental metrics, Nio lags. It's a young, fast-growing company still looking to turn a profit. Nio stock earns an EPS rating of 50 out of 99 and an SMR rating of D on a scale of A plus to a worst of E. So a D, they got a rating of a D. The EPS rating compares a company's earnings growth versus other companies. The SMR rating measures the sales growth and the profit margin and return on equity. In May, Nio's EV sales jumped over year, but they only grew 6% month over month. And they were really hurt by the global chip shortage. On April 29th, Nio delivered a wider than expected loss for the quarter and lost 48 cents per share, like I said, in the EPS. I'm gonna hand it over to Kev.
Right. So let me jump in about their manufacturing. JAC Motors, Nio likes to flaunt itself as a quality brand, but it outsources all of the manufacturing production to JAC Motors. I look at that as a pretty big contrast when you look at the Teslas and the BYDs of the world, companies that are striving to vertically integrate as much as possible. So, I mean, I'm just gonna leave you with this. Like, how many premium brands walk around saying things like this about their quality? And again, this is from their annual report. Given that we also rely on our partners to meet our quality standards, there can be no assurance that we will successfully maintain quality standards. That sound like something you want to invest in? Next slide, please. Okay, so go back a slide. If JAC Motors runs into any financial issues, if JAC Motors fails to provide satisfactory production standards, what's Nio's fallback? I'm going to summarize again another quote from their 20F filing. Nio recently renewed their manufacturing agreement with JAC Motors to produce up to 240,000 cars annually. But if the relationship ever sours with JAC Motors, how much time, effort, and pain would it take to uproot to a new manufacturing or to take over sole manufacturing duties? Something to think about. Prototypes are easy, but production is hard. You know who said it. Thus far, they've produced over 100,000 vehicles over the past 3 years. But as time goes along, will Nio and JAC be able to scale effectively? Let's talk about their plans for doing so. Nio Park broke ground this past April. It's supposed to be a production facility in China. It will eventually encompass 17,000 acres, 10,000 R&D personnel, 40K technical workers, and they're trying to get to 1 million vehicles a year and 100 gigawatt hours. Phase 1 is expected to be completed by the end of 2022. Next slide, please. So let's talk about their battery supply. They got a claim that their forthcoming ET7 sedan will have 150 kilowatt solid state battery. That's supposed to give them 1,000 kilometers or 600 plus miles by the end of 2022. Now, I just want to break down a couple of solid state battery companies that are in the game right now. We know QuantumScape, they got a lot of bit of hype at the beginning of the year. They expect to be in pilot production by 2024 if everything goes well. Another company that some ICE companies are investing in, Solid Powers, their best case scenario is the beginning of the next decade. And we're supposed to believe that Nio is going to flex on the entire market by 1.5 to 2 years. And they gave a lukewarm announcement that they're going to have this type of range with these solid state batteries. Sounds like cap. Let's talk about their expansion plans. They're going to be kicking off their expansion into Norway this year. But their grand plan is to be in every major EV market by 2024. Last I checked, they don't have production facilities, or excuse me, JAC Motors doesn't have production facilities in Europe, and JAC Motors doesn't have production facilities in the United States. So, I mean, I get that it's a luxury brand, this is going to be premium prices, but intercontinental transportation can't be cheap. I mean, by the end of this year or early next year, Tesla's going to have their Berlin facility, and they're going to be pumping out with their gigapresses, just pumping out Model Ys into the market. They're going to be flooding the market. And they're going to have 2 factories in the United States by the end of the year with the Austin coming right around the corner. They got the Shanghai factory in Nio's backyard. Like, what are their plans for expansion in the United States? Is Nio and JAC Motors going to pony up the money to build a facility in the United States? If they don't, they're going to have to deal with these upcoming tax credit. That's $10,000 to $12,000 that the Teslas of the world and other U.S. competitors are going to be able to sell at an advantage when compared to Nio shipped cars. Something to consider.
All right. Yeah, we got a minute 45, Kev.
All right, yep, let's talk about the autonomous driving suite. 33 components, 8 megapixel cameras, radar, LiDAR, driver sensing systems, ultrasonic sensors. But as we know, with the kind of current debate in the industry right now versus just purely vision versus LiDAR and radar is expensive. It adds weight to the vehicle. And as we know, every ounce you can shave off the vehicle will extend your range. Let's go to a comment from Andre Karpathy from Tesla. Adding LiDAR to the self-driving stack comes with its own complications. You have to pre-map the environment with the LiDAR, and then you have to create a high definition map, and you have to insert all the lanes and how they connect and all the traffic lights. That's not scalable. You literally have to remap the entire world to get the LiDAR popping the way you want to. Next slide, please. So let's add it up. Nio outsources their production, which makes it difficult to control their costs and their qualities as effectively as a company that can vertically integrate. Companies like Tesla can price their offerings more flexibly, depending on what the competition is doing. If you're paying somebody else to build it, I mean, you kind of have to eat that cost. If you're shipping your products internationally, you're going to have to eat that cost. Let's take a look at what Nio is going to do. Yeah, shipping their orders internationally, they're going to be eating those costs, like until they build out any sort of European or US manufacturing plants.
20 seconds.
Radar and LiDAR adds bulk, adds weight, it's expensive. And they expect to finish their phase 1 of Nio Park, but have made no announcements on the European or the US manufacturing facilities. So, I mean, that's what we had thus far, but something to think about.
Hey, y'all. It was a solid argument. It's going to be a tough one tonight, I see.
Yes.
What you think so far, AJ?
No, I like it. Both sides, they present new points. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to come down to these rebuttals, so let's see.
All right, Bulls, y'all ready? Y'all ready for y'all 3 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, bet. When y'all go, I'm going to start it.
Sheena, you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So where do we start? All right. So you said that Nio is in the 10 spot. Yeah, we're in the number 10 spot, but we are starting to climb. And you talked about like our productivity. And I just want to ask our profitability. And you did a lot of comparison with Tesla. When did Tesla become profitable? After how many years did they become profitable? It took them some time. I think it was probably, like 18 years before they became profitable. This is a new company. It just started in 2014. And sometimes it takes money to make money. Also, you talked about the recall. Tesla also had a recall. They had 300,000 vehicles recalled in Shanghai, and that gave Nio an opportunity to take some of that market share. You talked about some of their stating that they have some risk with some things. They have that on their page, and they're honest and they're upfront company, and they openly tell their investors what the risks are, and they've come forward with that. So then when we say, well, on the opposite side, that they're capping about what they're going to do, well, they are honest company or they are a liar company, and I think that they're an honest company, and what they say is what they've been able to do. So about the manufacturing plant also, I feel like Big Grizzly, he put it out there. We got that it's going to be the world's largest EV factory in Hefei, and it's going to increase the production, and it's going to be up to 1 million vehicles. So I think it's still a great company.
It is a great company. Every one of those lists, Nio was on there. And for it being a young company that may not have the same capital as the other makers, we're in it. And we're making bold moves in order to establish and show people that we're not going anywhere. Tesla this year had issues with their vehicles. And we've been executing quarter over quarter, no matter what. We have to spend money to make money. That's why we're going out there with partners. That's why we're setting some stuff up in Norway. We're setting the ground now. We're setting the foundation now, so that way we will continue to be successful in the future. And sometimes you guys just got to get in early. You got to get in early when the price is cheap. So when it does jump, we already have our positions built. And as far as JAC Motors, Nio did re-sign with them this year. So like any company, you never know what your partners are thinking. But I know what I'm thinking. I'm sticking with Nio.
All right, cool. That's the first rebuttal. Bears, y'all got something to say?
Yes, sir. Go ahead and share that screen real quick. All right, so let's talk about the uncertainty with the political party right now in China. Internet and automotive companies seem to be in the crosshairs of the Chinese leadership, and kind of Nio sits at the nexus of both. I mean, at this point, no one really knows how far Chinese regulation will go, and quite a few investors really can't stomach that type of uncertainty. We've seen JD, Tencent, Alibaba, we've seen K-Web, all types of Chinese-centric tech investments just get walloped well past the correction that we saw in February, March, just getting battered and destroyed. And I feel like this is going to add future weakness to Nio's stock performance. Again, going back to those crackdowns that we saw, with the most recent being Didi getting delisted shortly after being thrown up after the IPO. I think that's definitely serious cause for pause when you look to the future of this company, because no one really knows who's next at this point. So going to the next slide. Skimping on what counts. Nio hit the block telling investors that they would build out their own manufacturing facilities, but backslid and ended up having to contract with JAC Motors. But even then, it was determined, this is another point, but it was determined that Nio for the fiscal year ending in 2019 did not have enough finance and accounting professionals with US GAAP accounting experience, AKA they didn't have enough controls over their financial reportings. Mind you, they IPO'd back in 2018. So for that whole time period, they're ready to take people's money in the United States, but they didn't have the financial and accounting wherewithal to actually get it right and get it tight. How are you going to line up and take folks' money, but you're not ready for prime time public reporting? They went in on a 4-way joint venture to create the battery asset company to produce their batteries for their vehicles and their swapping stations. But even with additional investments, they're only at about 11% stake in that company. So again, I'm just seeing a pattern of outsourcing, pushing out, getting other people involved to do the heavy lifting, and then just going to smile and say, hey, it's Nio, blue skies. And then the final argument I wanted to make for this initial rebuttal was to go back to their battery swap technology. We don't have a slide for this, but for a battery constrained industry, as all the ICE players are jumping in and then Tesla's gobbling up as much as they can, everybody trying to build EVs in a battery constrained environment, I don't know if it makes enough sense to me to be creating batteries and then just sticking them in some battery swap warehouse, as opposed to getting every battery that you can pumped into every vehicle that you can push out. It just doesn't seem like the best or most effective use of resources in a constrained industry. But that's the initial 3 minutes we got for our rebuttal.
Yeah, and the lady said they signed another deal, so it doesn't seem like they're relying on.
Oh, 3 minutes is up, bro. I told you.
No games played.
No. I told you they be on my neck. If I don't be on it, I done got accused of cheating, you know.
Man, you turn into the Apollo. I see you though.
Listen, taking money under the table. They done put all type of smut on my name. We cutting it. But that's cool. They got 2 more rebuttals, so it's all good. Bulls, y'all ready?
Yes.
Sound like y'all ready. Are you ready, Erica?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
All
I'm
right.
gonna start when you start.
Okay. So I just want to put it out there that, you know, if you look at Nio as an overall company, it's going to be able to stay afloat. It has a very unique business model. Whether you feel like the battery swap might or might not work, they've already shown you that it can work and that it is currently working. They have the price advantage. And with that, they have a greater price point, and they have a greater price point over Tesla. In Nio, their SUV, their ES8, it's about 70,000 in China versus that Tesla Model X is 110,000. Nio is able to capture that Tesla market with that. Also, they have a loyal base. They have loyal customers. And as far as outsourcing some of that heavy lifting, that gives them opportunity to concentrate on innovation and coming up with more things available for AI, the robotics, and the things in their cars. You got anything,
All
Sheena?
right, so I know that there's been a lot of comparisons between Tesla and Nio at the moment. Nio has a couple years ahead, or no, Tesla has a couple years ahead of Nio. We understand that. They're going to do some great things better than Nio, and it's all right. We're not disputing that. Like I said earlier, there is plenty of opportunity for all of us in this space. Nio does have a better price target. It is more affordable. And there's no other choice.
All right. Cool. She fighting the Bears and the kid, man. That's tough right there.
A real challenge. Shouts out to the moms. Still holding
right.
it down.
Shout out to the moms. For
Much
real,
love,
for real. For real. All right, MJ, I know you got something to say, so I'm going to go ahead and get the timer ready.
Definitely. All right, so can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
All right, so 2019 class action lawsuit. You know, so a lot of Nio investors filed a lawsuit, you know, because they were really concerned about the lack of integrity with the company. So number one being Nio would not be building its own manufacturing plant and would instead continue to rely on JAC Auto to manufacture its electric vehicles. So that wasn't really apparent to the investors when the company was initially getting started. So they kind of misled investors in that front. And then also reductions in government subsidiaries for electric cars would materially impact Nio sales. So because of like the government credits and things like that, reductions in those in China are going to definitely hurt Nio sales and their net income. Number three, and as a result, defendant statements about Nio's business operations and prospects were materially false and misleading at all relevant times. When the true details entered the market, the lawsuit claimed that investors suffered damages. So this is a company that has shown a lack of integrity, a lack of honesty, you know, have not been straightforward with their investors. So this is something that we have to pay attention to. In addition to that, them relying on another company to produce their vehicles and their batteries is a problem, right? And the fact that they lied about it too is a problem in itself. The ladies mentioned the price advantage. That's false. Nio's entry-level car starts at $58,500. Tesla has a car, the Model 3, I believe, starts at $30,000. So they don't have a price advantage. That's false.
Y'all acting like the Model Y doesn't exist. Cut it out. How are you going to be an affordable luxury brand? You tout that you're luxury, but then you're going to make an argument about affordability. I don't know if that makes sense.
So let's just be honest.
That is the time right there. Boy, that boy MJ don't got no sense of time. I'm gonna have to.
Boy, they be using all their seconds.
I know he got whoopings as a kid.
Just pushing his
Oh,
moms, man.
man.
all the time, bro.
Yeah, he
All
keep
the
trying to
time.
get that little last extra. All right, y'all. This the last round. It's a final minute. Say what you gotta say. I'm gonna be real. As soon as them double zeros, it's over. So get it out. You got a whole 60 seconds to say whatever you got to defend your case. I'm gonna put the survey up in the chat so everybody in the chat be looking for that, but be listening today because they might throw some, some real nice hot sauce out there to, clean the palate real quick. So go ahead. I'm gonna start the timer when you start talking.
I know that a lot of new companies will outsource a lot of their production, especially when they're getting established, especially when they're figuring out how to get things done and who is the best person out there to do it. Apple's done it. Tesla's done it before they had all these big equipment, right? So it's okay. You can bring that up as much as you want. But with small companies, you got to start somewhere and somehow. Erica, to you.
And just just with the issue about them sourcing and, if there's ever any issues between US and China, as far as Nio, because they have that plan and that's where they have their elements from in China, the trade war wouldn't necessarily affect them or their share price. And also, when you talk about like the government credits, they have been upfront about those. I was able to find that very easily where they talked about that the
Time. Oof. I hate to do it, Erica. You the homie. I appreciate you. You stepped up soon as I asked you to do it. I hated to do that, but I had to. I'm sorry.
You're enjoying that too much. You're enjoying that too much.
Yo, isn't he though? I mean, we were like a millisecond past
that was stone cold, TiVo.
I gave the warning. I said as soon as the double zeros get on there, I'm muting you. All right, y'all. So Bears, y'all got y'all last time to say y'all piece. I put the survey in the chat, so give them something to get that last maybe that vote that's on the table right now.
All right, for sure. So a few things. Nio is not the best option in the space. We talked about ARK. I know this is about the big ideas, but ARK isn't invested in Nio. Kathy's not in Nio. So let's just get that out the way, right? Debt is an issue. Devaluing the shareholders. They're not being the best option. The class action lawsuit is a problem. Them outsourcing everything, them relying on other people to produce the cars and the batteries is a problem. Tesla has a competitive advantage. They started before them. Tesla's technology is better. Tesla also has a price advantage. And then in addition to that, everything is just lining up. We don't want to invest in a company that is showing hopes, right? We don't want to hope. We don't invest on hopium. Hopium is a hell of a drug. We want to invest in the company that's dominating. And we saw XPeng, Li Auto, and Tesla are better options right now.
All right, that's it. Great job to both sides, man.
No, but
great job to both sides.
That
Make sure y'all vote. I did pin the survey in the chat, so if you're away from your computer, you're doing something in the kitchen or something, I know it's Sunday night, make sure you hit that survey and vote. The voting will be up until next week, so next week we'll announce who won this week, and we'll be moving to the next round. Make sure y'all show some love to them in the chat real quick, though. Show them some love for stepping up. It is super, super, super hard to find people to do Sector Sundays this time, knowing it was on YouTube. So shout out to everybody that's on here right now. I really do appreciate y'all for stepping up and coming with real facts.
Facts. Definitely. Doing y'all's research. Y'all both brought great points. So we're going to definitely see what the cousins think when they vote, man. So make sure y'all vote.
Hey, that's all that really matter at the end of the day. What do the cousins think,
So I can't add my last 2 cents.
No. So listen, if you want to tell, Listen, you want to tell one of your real cousins on the side before they watch it and try to sway they vote? I can't do nothing about that. But as far as tonight, it's over with.
Make a Facebook post, do whatever you got to do. They got all week.
For real, for real. But again, if anybody missed it, but you was here last week, Sam and Lauren did win, or Laurie did win last week. So that was the Unity Bulls. You know, they came with it. They moving on to the next round. They will be facing Leah and Dave, who were what company did they do? I forgot.
PDD.
Was it PDD? No, it wasn't PDD. It was somebody else. It was JD. It was JD.
JD, that's what it was,
Yep.
not PDD. JD.
JD Bulls. So they won the first round. So they'll be moving on. And then next week, we are going to give these last two teams some time because, like I said, it was hard to find people to actually do this. So we finally got some teams together. We're going to give them an extra week to prepare. So next week, we're going to have something special for y'all. It's still going to be in the terms of Sector Sunday, maybe a little bull versus bear, but it's not going to be the tournament. But make sure y'all tune in next week. It's going to be a lot of good information. We try to keep the quality high for Sector Sunday so we not wasting y'all time because I know it's a Sunday night. My kids is in there watching the movie right now. So everybody who even here watching, I appreciate y'all showing up. This is a good case to learn how to do a fundamental analysis on a company because you always got to have your bull case. You always got to have your bear case, no matter how good or bad the company is, unless you know it's like a nickel or something like that. It might be hard to squeeze out a bull case out of that one, you know. But you know, this is a good format to be able to go back and look and say, okay, I want to do a fundamental analysis. Let me run the Sector Sundays back to figure out what type of information they was looking at, and you know, go from there. Did any of y'all have anything to say to the people before we get up out of here?
Just keep studying, keep learning, keep having that right mindset. That's all it comes down to. Definitely.
Yeah, and I just would say for anybody who is maybe hesitant about, trying to do it, or maybe you're confused and you don't know, like, what should I be doing? If you actually step up and present, it pushes you to learn these companies, and then you start to deep dive. When everybody talks about going down the rabbit hole, when you got to debate somebody about it, it helps you learn. So, don't be afraid. Just go ahead and just jump on in and grab a company.
That's the only way you can get better. Just hold that bull by the horn or the bear and, just do it.
And it helps develop your researching skills, like your fundamental analysis as well. So even for the people who are just watching, you should make your own bull and bear case. You know what I'm saying?
For every company. That's for every company.
Exactly.
Literally. And all I want to say is going into next week, I know it's a big earnings week, but I don't want the family gambling away the funds. So make sure y'all making smart decisions. Don't be chasing these companies next week and trying to chase these plays. Make sure you pot your levels and study tonight. So make smart decisions, buy time, okay? Don't be trying to chase stuff and play those games coming this week with earnings coming up. So I just want everybody to protect themselves and protect y'all's profits.
That's on the back of that, if you do, you can paper trade. You can paper trade. That is a very good thing you can do so you can learn, but you don't have to worry about losing any money if you make the wrong decision or however you want to do it.
No, that's true. Some of y'all just need to get y'all's little gambling itches out. Just go ahead and paper trade right quick, get that out and move on. Okay. We not gambling with real money.
Run it up,
not gambling. Man, the Randys and Bettys is in full effect.
Oh, this week
what
is
I will
crazy.
tell people, for every 10x, 20x, 100x, there is 1,099% losses in that same category. So trust and believe. You may have missed that Google 2600. I don't know what the call was that went 50x by the end of the day. I know sometimes it hurts to see people that turn $100 into $6,800, but it's part of the game. all I know is them same people, and I'm not taking no shots. I'm just saying that type of trading, there is 100 times that you are going to get a 99% where you look in your brokerage and you got that 0.001 ask and a 0.00 bid. It's 100 of those for every 10x.
You
You
can't
feel
even
me?
sell
So
for the
don't go,
market, bro. Those hurt. The
yeah, don't
market
go
won't even
chasing
sell you.
that. Don't go chasing that. Outside of that, the next company that we doing, kind of to AJ's point, for y'all to try to put y'all bull bear case together, I'm gonna give it to y'all. It's NNDM. N is in Nancy, N is in Nancy, D is in dog, M is in Mary. If y'all want to do y'all research and come prepared, so 2 weeks from now, when we do the next bull versus bear case, y'all can have y'all facts lined up with the cases. Hey, that's more power to you. So go ahead, do your research on that. Outside of that, we're gonna go ahead and end this. We ending it early. Make sure y'all show some love to y'all family, y'all kids. It's not all about investing. It's definitely bigger than options. So make sure y'all call somebody, kiss your kids, read them a bedtime story. I know sometimes it's like, hey, I'm charting right now. Get out of here. Just read them like one bedtime story. You feel me? But outside of that, appreciate y'all. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Erica, Sheena, MJ, Big Grizzly. And y'all have a good night, man.
Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.